Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Aarti from NUPA, and what I would like to share with you would be something which is not typically coming in the domain of skills per se, of vocational education. Now, what I'm going to speak will be based on a study that I've just completed, which was funded by the Rockefeller Foundation of US. And that study was basically on skills for employability in South Asia. Now, employability, as Dr. Pandey had said, is basically how would we define employability is first, getting trained for the right skills to have a job, retaining yourself through the job, and also in case of crisis to be able to fend for a new kind of job, adapt yourself and get a new job. So this is what we mean by employability. And in this context, we try to get the feedback from the industry. Major sectors that we had actually contacted were the high growth sectors in the Indian economy and across nations in Pakistan and Bangladesh also. And the industry, said that most of the focus group discussions we analyzed, and we found that the industry was not really bothered about the technical skills. What they were looking for was very generic skills. Generic skills in the sense that, generic skills of, team working, ICT, language, communications, willingness to learn, honesty, all these kind of things. They said that these are what is missing. They said if we get a person who is willing to learn, who is very honest, punctual, is ready to work, we will be able to take care of the technical skills within a period of 3 months, 6 months, depending on the level at which we need to employ the person. So what went wrong? What went wrong? Because even if you look at higher education, the McKinsey reports and all other reports at that level say that our Indian graduates are unemployable. Some say 10% are only employable, some would say, but whatever number that they're stating is absolutely low. Well, we have the largest technical and manpower scientific information, manpower in the world, but so less employable. That means there is something really missing that we focus. Our education system is more theoretical, extremely theoretical in nature, that we are able to give him, good grades, good this thing, but we are certainly isolating the students so that they are unable to work as a team. They are unable to work as, good parts of the same system, and they're unable to do their work with great punctuality, honesty, and we lack professionalism in that sense. So what we need to do is strengthen the system, not only in higher education, but also strengthen the system at the school level. And also I was there at the earlier parallel, panel that was going on early childhood education, which said that we have to strengthen these skills at that level also, collaborative skills, critical thinking skills. So all these things have to be worked on right from the very beginning, so that, to the point that when a person reaches the school level or the higher education level, he, apart from this technical know-how, he also learns to actually operate in a system, because none of us actually survive in a isolated system. We have to work in a team, whether we are in the academia, whether we are in the industry, or we are in any other organization. Organization by its character means a group of people working together, and all of them having similar skills, all of them talking about similar targets and similar well-being of the entire organization. So what we need to do is that identify all these skills and strengthen them right through the system, right from early childhood to higher education, so that everybody is apart from having technical knowledge, also has these basic generic skills, which makes him much more employable. As Dr. Pandey had already pointed out, that we are in the stage of demographic, we are experiencing the demographic bulge in the age pyramids, and this is what our earlier NASSCOM chief, Dr. Debang Mehta had to say, that what oil is to Gulf, human beings are to India. that we have all this excess population, if garnered properly, can be a resource for the country, which will not only lead to, you know, higher per capita incomes, but higher national incomes and higher gross domestic products and more GNP, so to say. So this resource, how do we need to do, is by actually, you know, severing the dichotomy between vocational and general education. Traditionally, what has happened is that the school dropouts will go for vocational education, and the good students will go for general education. That means the moment a child tells his parents that I'm not, interested in studying further, he will be given a tag of not being good, not being intelligent enough to carry on his study at a later level. So here is, you know, what gives him that inferior status in society, does not, allow him to have a good status job, and the stigma attached to vocational education. What we need to do is that school, if you look into the history of schools, how this modern school system came up, how this modern formal education system came up, the schools came up as a post-industrial phenomena. After the 16th century of industrialization, we see that the schools came up. Schools came up to actually educate people to meet the labor market demands. The industry demands were actually, the schools came up as a phenomena to actually cater to the labor market needs. And the universities came up basically for law and for civil this thing. So the two ancient universities came up under these larger domains. But here, when we look at, you know, that skilling was not really a part of higher education, but now in the recent thinking, even in higher education, people have started talking about what exactly do we need in higher education, how do we make the skill mapping in terms of new thinking, new knowledge, new innovations, what all these are the basic characteristics that you need, and that is how you should, you know, plan your curriculum in a way so that new ideas can come up and new knowledge can be created. So that is what they're talking about in the skill map also, and that this will lead to more employability in the higher education sector only. But when we talk about skills which are, you know, industry-led skills, then we'll have to look into these needs. First, we need to actually build that, divide between the industry and the academia. The academia actually deals in a very ivory tower kind of an approach, which is very, very, non-conducive to skill development of the nation. We need to actually build in that the linkage between the industry and academia, see that what is that the industry needs, and train our people accordingly, not by giving them just one vocational education, but by strengthening the basic generic skills so that they become overall more employable. The technical skills can come at a later stage. The government of India has now started, you know, talking about the National Vocational Education Qualification Framework, which begins from the class 9th onwards. They try to actually bridge the gap through building vertical and horizontal mobility. Germany has a very good model in which, you know, every child in the school is also associated to one industry, so that he not only is learning through the school, but is also in touch with a particular school, a particular kind of industry, and therefore when he grows up, he is also as familiar with the industry as with the formal curriculum within the school. So this kind of a model that we are trying to build up, so to do away with the stigma that any person who wants to drop out after 10th can actually, you know, go start working as a mechanic, as a plumber, as an electrician, come back with the practical knowledge, go and, you know, update his certificate or diploma in that particular field, to the sector skill councils which are being set up with the help of National Skill Development Corporation, which is another major initiative under the Prime Minister Council, because throughout we have seen this divide between industry, the Labour Ministry and the Education Ministry. There's always a divide, and whatever they talk, they say this is our work and their work. Although, you know, everything is integrated, we have to look at these things very holistically and build organic linkages between all sections of life, so that, you know, skill development along with knowledge generation, along with other activities, what we were calling earlier as co-curricular, extracurricular now becomes co-curricular, and so that all this training goes on and goes into the skill development of a person. Maybe not technical skills, but overall, skilling of a person to, work in teams with honesty, with punctuality, and which is why we always feel that India is lagging behind because of less professionalism, because we need to become more professionals, and these are the skills which will make us more professional in nature and will help us, building our employability at different stages of our career.